Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Minnesota Mike back with you for another video. This is another one in my vlog series that I do through the Memphis Songwriters Association in conjunction with the blog I write for them, talking all about songwriting and what has worked for various artists over the course of a handful of years, whether those songs have been hits or not. So this latest kick that I'm on is called Middle Eights and Bridges. And just to give you a little bit of a background, if you remember in my last blog and vlog kick, I discussed Haitian divorce, and I referred to one of the sections in there as a middle eight. I always knew there was a difference between the two, but never took the time to look it up, because most of the chord progressions I see online use the term bridge even when it's a middle eight, and therefore I assume the interchangeability. I have talked many times about knowing the moment for your songs. Most of my songs tend to lend themselves well to bridges with transition back into the chorus, which transition back into the chorus, and so that's my default. But in this particular blog and vlog kick, we're going to talk about middle eights, which transition into a third verse or solo rather than a chorus. I do want to point out that for these vlogs this week, I'm going to chat about the middle eights, and then next week I'm going to talk about bridges. So let's dive in, talking about a Memphis tune called Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. Written with Memphis's own Steve Cropper, Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay is one of the ultimate mental escape songs, though I did not talk about it in my escapism blog. It does not shy away from the troubles of one's world, but says that despite that, he's sitting on the dock of the bay watching the tide roll away, sitting on the dock of the bay wasting time. The second verse tells about him leaving home in search of a better life, before realizing that the better life he desired is not at the moment attainable. I've got nothing to live for, looks like nothing's going to come my way. The middle eight in question concludes that nothing's going to change, before ultimately concluding, I guess I'll remain the same. Eventually, this becomes a positive thing as he goes back to his state of relaxation, sitting here resting my bones, even though he says this loneliness won't leave me alone. As a note, this song thematically has a similar vibe to the Fountains of Wayne song Mexican Wine, which sees the narrator looking at all the bad stuff around him and ultimately giving up on changing the world, saying, "Think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine." So that song is interesting because even though the theme is very similar to that of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, that actually uses a bridge instead of a middle eight, but has, a solo, and all of that before going into the bridge and then eventually the chorus again. Again, it's all about knowing the moment, even if the song is similar thematically to one that might have a middle eight in this particular case, like Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Melodically, the song is written in the key of G major and uses G, B7, C, and A, which is a 1-3-7-4-2 pattern, while the chorus uses G and E, the 1 and the 6 played twice, G and A, and ends on G, E, which is a 1-2-1-6 pattern. While the middle eight uses G, D, C, and G, which is a 1-5-4-1 pattern that gets played 3 times before ending on the flat 7th and the 5th, that pattern of F and D. Instrumentally, the song uses guitar, bass, and drums, and is distinguished by the whistling at the end of the song. And by the way, that whistling was just put in as a filler that they were going to change later into something else, but sadly Otis Redding died before they could fix that. Structurally, the song uses a verse-chorus, middle eight verse format. It's an incredibly simple song with each verse and chorus going back and forth between desperation and relaxation. The middle eight, rather than taking the song to a different place, adds to the acceptance of knowing things will stay the same for him, so he might as well accept his state of relaxation to forget about the world. This transitions back into the third and only verse that truly accepts this, which is with the first verse, watching the ships roll in representing relaxation, and watching them roll away again, the acceptance of the peaceful moments leaving making a habit of leaving you, I should say. So Sitting on the Dock of the Bay is linked below. You can take a listen. It's one of my favorite songs, a Memphis classic, a Stax classic. And like I said, you can listen below. I'm Minnesota Mike. Make sure you check out all my other blogs on the Memphis Songwriters Association website and all of my other vlogs right here on YouTube. Thank you so much.